leadership, if there's a 10 commandments of leadership,
right?
Commandment number 1 is humility. And I really mean that. You've got to find a way to serve others as a leader. And you're a leader when you're thinking and acting on that idea. So humility is rule number 1. And then the second one is articulating a plan. And I don't like buzzwords as a rule, because everything devolves into 3-letter acronyms and buzzwords. But if you can articulate a plan, if you can tell people that we're going this direction and we're going to get there, even if you're a little off, it doesn't matter. Even if you take a circuitous route to get there, it doesn't matter. What people want to know is that you have a plan and you know where you're taking the organization. They will follow, or they'll be more apt to follow you if you articulate a plan that they understand. And so the third part is articulating a plan they understand requires communication.
Yes.
So a good leader is able to communicate both at the plant floor level and up to the CEO. So, I commonly have to have conversations with hourly employees who are very new. I mean, this week new to the organization, and then turn right around and I have to talk to the executive team of the company about discounted cash flow analysis, right? And so you have to be able to communicate at multiple levels, literally within minutes of each other, and you have to be able to apply equal conviction along all communication streams that you have. If you're able to talk to CEOs and hourly people with the same level of conviction and seriousness, they will listen to you. Obviously, communication is a two-way street. You may not get everything you want back, but at least you're talking.
I love it. I love it.
And then rule number 4, integrity, character, and I put in here joy. If you've gotta love what you're doing to inspire the love in that in others. Not every day, but most days I wake up and I am thrilled to death that I am alive and able to do these things with the people that I do them with. And I try to act, behave, and carry on in a way that people know that, 1, I'm happy, and 2, that I have their very best interests in mind, even if I say something that they don't necessarily want to hear. That's the character part of this. Rule number 5 is surmounting challenges and failures. I know you and I have had this conversation, but surmounting challenges is great. You lead a team, you get over the wall or whatever.
Right.
But what do you do when you don't? Right? If you push the envelope enough, sooner or later you're going to fail. And especially in the United States, we don't like to talk about failure. We don't like saying the word failure because everybody sees it as permanent and it's cast in stone. And for me, failure or the lack of achievement of a goal is just pushing on an envelope until you found the border and you just didn't push through. And the United States is a tremendous culture of forgiveness and the ability to take a second, a third, a fourth try at it. And we have one of the things that's made America great, in my opinion, is that people have come back from not pushing the envelope until it broke, and then they did, right? And there's the old adage about Thomas Edison and the light bulb, but I mean, I can tell you about Earnie Bliss and the number of times that I didn't get that thing right in plastics, and how many months I had to try until I got that right. So that's number 5. Number 6 is engaging creativity. We don't talk about this enough in the world. No, it's not enough. It's not enough to be an engineer. It's not enough to be an accountant. It's not enough to be really good at commercial. It's not enough to understand the data. You have to find a way to integrate all of these ideas and come up with solutions that are unique enough that allow you to surmount the objective that you have and do something that people didn't expect you to do. And we can talk about this. And I've done this in kind of big ways and small ways. I help these guys get patents, but I also turned around an entire organization across the continent of Europe And I was able to lead an organization to beat the very best plastics converter in the world more than once because I was able to do these things. So it's creativity.
Gotcha. What's next?
Understanding. Stephen Covey talked about this 25 years ago, but you cannot do a thing unless you understand a thing. And it's incumbent on leaders to, leaders should not have to do everything that their subordinates do, but they should understand what their subordinates do enough to have an intelligent conversations about positives and negatives. And I encourage all of my leadership team to make sure that they understand the people below them, and that and as you ratchet down through the organization, everybody has an understanding of everybody else's job. Why? Why do you want to do that? Because everybody wants to go on vacation, Dave. And you can't go on vacation if you don't have anybody backing you up. And this is a way to have people back you up. And then after that, decisiveness. At the end of the day, you got to do something. And this is the way to do something. Number 9 is self-awareness. Every one of us needs to take a step back and understand ourselves and how we're reacting to a situation, and know who you are, who you aren't, and have somebody on your team who will tell you the truth so that they can play devil's advocate for you. Everybody needs a devil's advocate. And finally, you've got to organize all this activity and delegate it and get something accomplished. So those are my 10 commandments of leadership. And I don't talk about this a lot, but this is how I manage people forward.
I love it. I love it. So Ernie's 10 commandments of leadership. Run down that list one more time. Just this, and that. All
right. Number 1, humility, articulation, communication, integrity, surmounting challenges, creativity, understanding, decisiveness, self-awareness, and organization.
Sounds like a book to me.